What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about this thing that narcissists do when they can't have their way. And it could be a good thing for people who have to deal with them in the workplace or just at any function or gathering or something, dealing with a narcissist who always wants to be the center of attention, who has to lead and give orders and just have their way all the time. Narcissists need this in order to feel like they matter. It's a self-esteem thing at the end of the day. It just gets deep with a narcissist. It's just way too much to unpack. But it's definitely a problem that they have, and they fail to realize how it makes them self-destruct at some point. So when a narcissist can't have their way, sometimes they quit. They wreak havoc. They do things to bring chaos and confusion, mess and drama. They need to be seen. They need to make a statement. Sometimes they quit jobs when they have a difficult time following orders. They hate to be supervised. They love to be critiqued, but as long as they can control the critique, it's like as long as there's no constructive criticism, they're fine with being critiqued. They need people to always praise their work, point out the good thing about them. The moment you point out their flaws or anything that they can work on, you're the problem. And they're not trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that they're not perfect and they can work on some things. They're not trying to hear that, because in their minds they're perfect and they know it all. And so what happens when a narcissist feels like they're being controlled, which is crazy, like I don't know what. This is like a double standard. It's funny how they live to control others, but the moment they just feel like they're being controlled, they self-destruct. And the way they self-destruct is that they hurt themselves by quitting. They give up on something, that they had so good. All they had to do was change their attitude or change the way they do things. But they don't think that they could ever do anything wrong in order to even have to change it. And I've seen this happen at work. A narcissist will get mad if a supervisor, corrects them on something or point out something that they could do differently. Doesn't mean that it was wrong. It just means it was differently. But narcs be so deep in their feelings, they're not listening to the part about it that will help them. They only hear you've done something wrong. They only hear rejection. And so that hurts their ego. It don't hurt their feelings. It hurts their ego. So now they feel like they're the laughing stock. They feel like people are making fun of them. They think that that's the only thing that stands out about them. And it's crazy, someone who loves to belittle others, they fail to see the error in their own personality. They fail to see their ways, or, it's just what they give out. It's like they could dish it, but they can't take it. And that's something that narcs live by. The narcissist will quit on a relationship, threaten to leave you in things in a spur of a disagreement. It may not even be an argument. You disagree with them on something, or you just, you put your input, and you just want them to look at things from a different angle or try something your way for a chance, and they have their way all the time. And it's like it takes them out of the comfort zone of knowing that now someone else gets the input. They actually have a choice. And to them, that's taking away power. again, it's a double standard, and they fail to realize that, okay, so it's okay for you to be this way all the time, but the moment that I try to change the game for a minute in a way that pleases me a little more, you have a problem with it, and now you just want to up and quit. That's how they play. They're like sore losers. You playing a game with them fair and square, you win fair and square, and they get angry because they don't think that maybe sometimes they're not going to win it all the time. You know, you're not going to always be a winner. Sometimes other people are going to be, they're going to beat you at things. And it's crazy because narcissists are so simple minded. It's like you can break it down to elementary level education just to point out common sense things to them. And they still don't want to hear it. All they know is you said something that hurt their ego. And so for that, you don't have to pay for it. And if you don't retract that statement, if you just don't take it back, I'm just going to leave. They pout, they have tantrums, they rage, they give silent treatments until they have their way, just like children. And they're even worse than a child that acts that way, because a child, you can understand that they're underdeveloped when it comes to, those type of issues. Like, they just don't know any better. But a narcissist, you don't expect them to act that way. And believe it or not, some people really do give them a pass. Like, that's just a part of their personality that, they look at it as a lighthearted joke. That's just who they are. Oh, God, she's about to cry about that. And they just, pet them up all the time and let them have their way. And because of that, that's why they continue to be that way. But the moment someone points out, that there's a problem with this and you need to stop being like that, then that person is the problem. So, narcissists, what happens when they refuse to take orders, say for instance at work, they'll quit. They will quit a job when someone points out, what they're not, they're not getting the work up right. And it's something that should be corrected without them having, a negative response or getting defensive. They love to get defensive. Just fix the darn problem and go on with the day. But instead of them doing that, they would quit a job to keep from being told what to do. They don't like nobody to tell them nothing. They will quit a good paying job because they don't want to be told anything. They don't want authority. They don't want supervision. They feel as though they're the boss of themselves, and their logical explanation behind behaving that way is, I know what to do already, and I don't need you telling me what to do. And when you're like, well, sometimes there's certain things that I need to point out that you fall short of, they don't want to hear that. They're not trying to hear it. It doesn't matter. No matter what you say that makes sense, that is common sense, they're not trying to hear it. They'll quit. They'll quit a relationship or give you the silent treatment, disappear on you for a while, shut down and shut you out because you point out things that are only fair to their partner. Something that they should want to do to keep the partner happy. But narcs don't care. They only want to get their own needs met. And if pleasing you their way is getting their needs met, then you should just leave well enough alone. That's how they think, In their mind, it's going well as long as they can keep control of a situation. So that's all I pretty much wanted to talk about in this video. How narcissists, they, how they act when they can't get their way. They self-destruct. you know. And they don't care if they ruin themselves. They don't care. They don't care how laid back and easy they have it in a situation, how good they've had it. They don't care. They will ruin themselves just to prove a point that, oh, I will not be told what to do. I will not be controlled. They'll ruin themselves. They'll end it all and have you looking like, okay, like who in their right mind will do something like that? But we talking about a narcissist, and we know that they're not in their right mind. So, thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you soon.